Hip hop, hip hop. What you know about hip hop music, man? You know, we all love hip hop music. From the first time that you hear it, it's something that instantly registers with your soul and with you for the rest of your life. You're always thinking about hip hop, your favorite song, the beat, the fashion, some element of hip hop that you always love. By the way, it's four elements of hip hop: DJing, cutting and scratching, MCing, rapping. Then you got breaking, breakdancing, and writing, graffiti, expressing yourself in an art form, mainly through paint, spray paint to be exact. So yeah, man, hip hop. I'm gonna take y'all from the origins of hip hop all the way up into 1985, man, cause it's a lot of people that get left out and not mentioned all the time, and they contributed to hip hop music to be exact. That they name need to be mentioned too. We all know Kool Herc. He's the one that's get credited for being the father of hip hop, for starting hip hop. It ain't no doubt about that. But another thing that ain't no doubt about is that when you do something, you're gonna require help. You're not gonna always get the job done by yourself, especially in those early times. You needed other people to help you build this idea, concept, and bring it to the masses. You know, so Kool Herc definitely is the father of hip hop. But my mother, when hip hop first came out, when we first started hearing rap music, she would tell me that ain't nothing new, boy. You know, she would say they was doing that and her parents was doing that, rapping and rhyming and words back in the early 1900s. You know, like I said, it's something that helps you cope and get through situations. So people was doing that. And another guy that you got to give credit to is Muhammad Ali. Yes, Muhammad Ali. Why I say that is because just think about the man interviews in the 1960s, man. The man was freestyling, coming off the top of the dome, spitting words, rhyming, telling you what he gonna do and how he was gonna do it to his opponents. And most of the time he done it. The only thing was he was doing it a cappella. Yeah, we gonna say Muhammad Ali is an a cappella rapper. Muhammad Ali. And some other guys we gonna give credit to are the last poets. These guys were poetry artists, but they would do their poetry over African drum beats. So they were the first rappers, in my opinion, because they doing rhyming over beats, similar to what goes on nowadays and all throughout rap. Rhyming over beats. The last poets did that. So we gonna salute Muhammad Ali and the last poets. And we also gonna give credit to a guy named DJ Hollywood. Cause in 1972, they saying DJ Hollywood was a DJ from Manhattan that would rhyme over disco beats at clubs and other spots in 1972. So the following year, August 11th, 1973, Kool Herc throws a party in the Bronx, New York. And that party is what is credited for being the birth of hip hop. Big ups to Kool Herc and all the other DJs at that time, because you also had DJ Grand Wizard Theodore, Grandmaster Flash, DJs Coke Rock, Clark Kent, Charlie Case. You also had, gotta give credit and shout out to Africa Bambaataa, also the Cold Crush Brothers, the Funky the Funky 4+1. The Funky 4+1, the plus one was the first female MC. Her name was Shay Rock. The first female to grab the mic, spit a rhyme on stage. Salute to the queen for putting it down. So then also at the same time, you had the Treacherous 3. They was featured on what that was, the movie B Street. We gonna get to B Street later. So you also had breakdancing crews forming in New York at the time. Most notably, the Rocksteady crew. They was a major breakdancing crew. They had a major influence on hip hop at the time. So we gonna jump until 1979. 1979 was the year the Sugar Hill Gang dropped their record, Rapper's Delight, already. So when they dropped Rapper's Delight, it really put a spotlight on rap. Because at the time, the masses thought rap was, the younger crowd, the younger people at the time were the ones that was the big lovers of rap, because the older generation and other ethnicities, they thought it was just some noise and it was going to be a fad. And we can see 40, 50 years later in 2022 that rap is here to stay and ain't going nowhere, the number one genre, and it's been that and it's going to be that for the foreseeable future. Know what I'm talking about? So, the spotlight was put on rap with Rapper's Delight. Blew up, more fans drawn in to rap. So that following year, that same year in 1979, you got a song come out called The Adventures of Super Rhyme by Jimmy Spicer. Now, at the time, this song was ahead of its time, because the man rapped for 9 minutes. He was a storyteller, the first storyteller of hip hop, rap music, Jimmy Spicer. This song, man rapped for 9 minutes. He got the something like a hook at the beginning. Then he goes on to tell the story, anything from all the way from the hood to Transylvania to an encounter he had with Count Dracula, man. Yeah, Count Dracula. He changed his voice. He rapped in, second, third person. It was amazing. Jimmy Spicer. And also I need to mention that Jimmy Spicer, he was managed by Russell Simmons. Russell Simmons has to get an ultimate salute, respect, and credit. The man is on the Mount Rushmore of hip hop for what he has done. Because he had, before Def Jam, he had something called Rush Management. Rush Management was where he managed artists, help them put out records and whatnot. And Jimmy Spicer was one of his artists. So in 1980, Russell Simmons, he had another guy, Kurtis Blow. Kurtis Blow went on to become the first superstar of rap, because he dropped the song The Breaks. The Breaks went gold, thus making Kurtis Blow the first superstar of rap. And at the time, Kurtis Blow had the DJ was DJ Ron. DJ Ron was Kurtis Blow DJ at the time. And if y'all don't know who that is, we gonna get back to that later. So that's in 1980. 1981, Grandmaster Flash, he get together with Melly Mel and Grandmaster Flash. He dropped a album called The Adventures of Grandmaster Flash on the Wheels of Steel to showcase his turntablism. So 1981, he does that. And Houdini also in 1981 becomes the first rap group to shoot a video for the song called Magic's Wand. And back in 1981, Houdini. Also in that same year, 1981, Run DMC officially becomes a group. DJ Run and D. They was solo acts, at first, but Russell Simmons put them together. And like I said, Run, he was DJing for Kurtis Blow at the time. So the following year, 1982, they released the first hip-hop movie called Wild Style, showcasing graffiti art, DJing, rapping, and breakdancing. The first hip-hop movie. Go check it out if you're interested in the origins of hip-hop. But it was a cool little movie at the time. So after 1982, after that is released, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, they get together and release a song called The Message. Very powerful song with Melly Mel rapping on there. Very powerful song. It's still, the message is still got the same message back then as it does today. Many of the situations are still the same, and people are experiencing many of the same things that's going on. Also in that same year, Run DMC released a single called It's Like That, and on the flip side was Suck MC. And It's Like That is a similar song to The Message, talking about what's going on and happening at the time, and a lot of the stuff is still happening to this day in 2022. January 2022, some of this stuff is still happening. And so the song Suck MC, that song was a hard street song at the time, and it's still a classic of hip hop, but at the time it was for the streets. So you got that in 1982, and also you get a group called the Beastie Boys. They form a group in New York. They were previously a punk rock band, but they went on to make their mark in hip hop too. I'm gonna get to them. So in 1984, you got the film Breaking is released. The film Breaking, about breakdancing, Turbo and Ozone. Rest in peace, Ozone. But yeah, Breaking was a cool movie at the time. We got to see the elements of hip hop on the big screen. That was nice to see. So later on that year, 1984, you got Beat Street that's released. Beat Street, to me, in my opinion, is the most powerful hip hop movie of all time. And the reason why I say that, they also displayed the four elements of hip hop: DJing, MCing, graffiti, and breaking. But at the end of the movie, if you ever saw it, and at the time, you got to remember, in 1984, it wasn't too many rap videos back then. Run DMC might have had the only rap video that was being played on MTV at the time. So it wasn't too many rap videos. But for people outside of New York, that wasn't not always saw hip hop culture in their presence in up front, they were able to see that on Beat Street at the end of the movie when they gave a tribute to the character Ramon that got killed in the movie. Ramon was a graffiti artist, and his friend gave a tribute to him at the end. When you see that man on the stage with that mic, commanding that crowd, spitting them rhymes, you never saw that before. Most people never saw that before. Most people heard it, and the song that they love in the mirror more than likely before school, work, you would pretend to be that artist, lip sync them lyrics, really vibe to it, make them faces, and really be into the song. But when you saw at the end of B Street, Melly Mel, the other guy, doing a rap at the end of the song, it gave people in other places the confidence and the visuals to show them that they can do it. So that's why I say Beat Street is the most powerful hip hop movie of all time. Later on in that year, 1984, you got UTFO. They were former dancers of Houdini, the Untouchable Force organization. They released the song Roxanne, Roxanne. This song went on to spawn so many response songs in a saga of Roxanne, Roxanne songs going back and forth. And it also gave us a chance to witness the birth of a young Roxanne Shante. She was dangerous on the mic then and dangerous to this day. Roxanne Shante, salute the queen. Also in 1984, you had Public Enemy. Public Enemy dropping a single, Public Enemy #1, with Russell Simmons' help. Also with Russell Simmons' help, a song called It's Yours by Tila Rock and Jazzy J was released. Also that same year, 1984, Run DMC released their first album entitled Run DMC. They hit me back to back with this stuff, man. It was powerful back then. The beginning of rap. It was just a beautiful thing to see, man, how it all started. Hip hop. And that was 1984. So also, going into 1985, it ain't stopped. Ultimately, the highlight of the year was Run DMC dropping their second album, The King of Rock, which ultimately made them the kings of rap. You know what I mean? And so also in that year, Chris Parker, aka KRS-One, he meets a man, Scott Sterling, aka Scott LaRock, and they form the group Boogie Down Productions. Also that same year, LL Cool J releases his debut album, Radio. It's the first album from LL Cool J and also Def Jam. The first album released on Def Jam was by LL Cool J. And also that year, you got the movie Crush Groove coming out. Crush Groove was a story about Russell Simmons, how he rose in the hip-hop industry, featuring Run DMC, Kurtis Blow. The Fat Boys was in the movie, and also the Beastie Boys made a cameo. Also, LL Cool J had a brief appearance in the movie. And we can't forget about two pioneers of rap, Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick. They dropped the hit, The Show. Also with Lottie Dottie. These songs were so powerful, amazing, and different at the time. The concept of Dougie Fresh beatboxing the whole song on Lottie Dottie while Slick Rick told the story. It was just, mind-boggling at the time. Then you had the show. The show still to this day. Classic song. You can play it at any party, anywhere, any club, everywhere, all over the world. The show is an amazing song. Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick, I salute y'all for that. Many artists try to make a song that's going to last the test of time. And a lot of time they do it by accident. But Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick. And Slick Rick, we got to mention the man with the jewelry. People had jewelry before Slick Rick, but they ain't have it like Slick Rick. So we got to give props to Slick Rick with the jewelry, because a lot of the bling that's going on right now, Slick Rick, if you want to call it over excessive, too much, Slick Rick was the one doing it now. So yeah, that's my little old summary of hip hop from beginning to 1980. The origins of hip hop from the beginning to 1985. Part 1. Part 2, I'm going to give you 1986 to 1990. And if you like it, subscribe. Peace, love, and light. I'm out. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, special shout out H-Rap Brown, Andre Harrell, and we gotta give a major salute and shout out to Soul Train. Soul Train played a big part in hip hop as well as R&B, and also the first West Coast rap song, Gigolo Rap by Disco Daddy and Captain Rap, and also Jill Scott Heron. And Ice-T, he came out in the early 80s too. So yeah, that's my little wrap up on the origins of rap, hip hop, from the beginning all the way up to 1984. If I forgot some people, I'm sorry, but hey man, it is what it is. I'm out. Peace, love, and light.